Welcome to today's class, which is inspired by the creation deities, Brahma and Saraswati. Brahma is the four-headed god who created the universe. So we can start by coming into what's called Brahmasana. It's a comfortable cross-legged seated position, and if you're able to, you can bring one foot on top of the opposite thigh, like a half lotus pose. This is sometimes called Brahmasana, named after Brahma. And then just find your relaxed shoulders, lengthen up through the crown of the head, and close your eyes. Your hands can be either on your knees or in your lap, wherever you feel relaxed. And feel yourself connected through the root of the body down to the earth. Because these are the deities of creation, we can feel ourselves connected to all of creation, everything in the universe. And that's really a root chakra quality. So noticing the energy of your Muladhara chakra. You can visualize drawing positive energy from the earth up through the roots of your body, whatever is in contact with the ground right now. Feel your sense of belonging here. And if there's any intention that you'd like to set for this practice today, maybe about connecting more with others in your life or connecting closer to nature, you can use this moment to set that intention. Find a few deep breaths into the chest and then the belly, and out from the belly and then the chest. And then slowly you can open your eyes. And we'll come into what's called Brahma Mudra. So take your thumbs and tuck them into your palms, then wrap the forefingers around the thumbs and bring the knuckles together just in front of your sacral chakra, that place of creation within us. Now we'll do our neck stretches from here. So keeping the shoulders relaxed, lengthen through the crown of your head with your inhale. And then exhale, just drop the chin down to the chest. Then inhale, take your head up to center. And exhale, drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhaling up, and then exhaling the head back, chin to the sky. Your inhale brings the head back up, and your exhale takes right ear towards right shoulder. And keep flowing through that so that you're taking your head in all four directions. The Hindu creation story says that Brahma arose from a lotus flower and he sprouted four heads, one in each of the four cardinal directions. And the first head said ah, the second said oo, the third said and the fourth was silent. And in that silence, the Om sound vibrated through the sea of possibility, and the entire universe arose from there. Now take this the opposite direction, this time starting left ear to left shoulder. Back up with your inhales. And as we go through this time, let's Om 3 times with our exhales. Raise the head and now Om. Om. You'll notice your exhale and the stretch become much longer. Again, head back this time. Om. And now left ear to left shoulder. And then raising the head back up. You can release the hands and bring them down to the knees. Cross your legs the opposite direction. So now the opposite foot comes on top of opposite thigh. Hands to the knees. Let's just roll out the spine. Sweep the chest forward with your inhale and round back with your exhale. Rolling out the spine however it wants to move. There's no right or wrong here. The story has it that after Brahma created the universe, it was still in chaos and disorder. So his goddess counterpart, Saraswati, who is the goddess of knowledge and the arts, she begged to be poured down onto the earth in the form of the Saraswati river to help bring order to the disorder. So as you flow through this movement, feel yourself like water, like the Saraswati river flowing. Take the circle the opposite way. Feel that flowing movement through the spine. She's really represented by that water element, which is in our sacral chakra as well, the place of creativity within our body. So feel that water-like energy awakening within you here. Maybe your shoulders get a little more involved, maybe your head. And then we'll come forward onto all fours. So find your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And we'll start awakening that sacral chakra a little more with our cows and our cats. So with your inhales, draw your shoulder blades together, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, and then exhale, pull the navel in towards the spine as you round the back and press the ground away through the hands. Inhaling to open the heart in cow, and exhaling to round the back in cat. Pay particular attention to your lower abdomen. That sacral chakra is said to be just below the navel, back towards the spine. Can you almost pulse that with your belly as you flow through this asana? Awakening Saraswati's creative energies within us. Now we'll add a movement into this called Chakra Vakasana flow, the golden goose flow. As you exhale back to your cat pose, this time lower all the way down to the heels. And then with your inhale, right away, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart and the tailbone, arching the spine right back up to cow. Exhale, draw the belly in, press the ground away, lower down to the heels. And inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest once again, all the way back up to your cow. You always see Saraswati with swans around her, again, because she was the river, she was that water element. And this pose represents that swan. You can make your spine like a wave here. This time, let's come all the way down into a child's pose. Lower all the way down and reach your fingers as far in front as they can reach. Rest your forehead down. Keep the knees in close towards one another at hip distance, because we're about to exaggerate that waving movement for the spine, that water element. This time with your inhale, same thing. Roll the shoulder blades together, lift the chest, arch the back, but now keep moving forward until you can lower the hips all the way down to the ground in a cobra pose. And exhale, pull the navel in towards the spine, arch the back into your child's pose once again. Keep flowing this wave-like movement for the spine all the way into your cobra, all the way back into your child's pose. And if there's any intention you'd like to set for yourself in regards to your own creative powers to awaken that Saraswati energy within your life, maybe you have a creative project you're taking on that you need a bit more power when approaching. You can set that intention for yourself now and feel it flowing through your sacral chakra. All right, and this time settle all the way back into your child's pose. You can take the knees out wide here for a bit of hip opening. Really rest the forehead down and feel yourself connected to the earth here. This creation story, that Om sound, teaches us that we are all one. We all come from that vibration of energy, that Om. So the ground below you is a part of you. Feel yourself as part of nature, part of the earth. Then let's take an inhale to rise all the way back up to all fours. You can bring the knees back in under the hips and then curl the toes under behind you and exhale to lift the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Now you can keep the knees gently bent here so you can really tip the pelvis forward. Try to keep your external rotation of your shoulders here, so it's like your biceps are drawing in towards your ears. And first, just try to find stillness in this pose. Feel yourself rooted to the earth through the hands and through the feet. Those Brahma qualities of being connected through our root chakra to all of creation. Then now we'll find that Saraswati flow within this as well. With your inhale, try to roll forward into a plank pose And then arch the back, bend the knees, lift the tailbone, and exhale to press yourself back to downward dog. Again, your inhale brings you forward, then you bend the knees and exhale, press back to that downward dog. Just making a beautiful flowing movement with your spine, like a wave as you roll forward and press back. Try this one more time, this beautiful waving movement for the spine. And then once again, find stillness in your downward facing dog. Keep pressing the ground away through the hands. 3 deep breaths. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and step to the front of your mat. Lengthen your spine halfway, open your heart. And we'll exhale to surrender to the plan that the universe has for us, coming into our Uttanasana forward fold. You can keep the knees soft and reach for opposite elbows and opposite hands. Just sway gently from side to side. Letting the energy of creation flow through you. Knowing that you have the power to create and to manifest from your sacral chakra whatever it is that you need in this life. Then exhale to relax the hands down to the ground, and taking as many breaths as you need, go ahead and roll yourself up like a wave for your spine, 1 vertebra at a time. As you rise all the way up to standing, let the shoulders come last, palms facing forward here in Tadasana. Find your deep, steady breaths. And then we'll flow through a variation of our sun salutations, finding both the Brahma and the Saraswati energies within that flow. So you can start by inhaling to raise the arms up. And like Saraswati's swan, let's swan dive into our forward fold. Exhale, draw the belly in, lead with your heart as you fold forward and relax down into that stretch. Now take an inhale to lengthen the spine halfway. And with your exhale, step the right leg straight back, plant the heel down. Maybe your foot turns out to about 45 degrees. And with a bend in the front knee, inhale, strong back, reach the arms up high into a warrior 1 pose. Warrior 1 is technically a back bend, so see if you can lift the heart a little higher, reach the arms a little further back, and really feel your groundedness through the feet into the earth. That Brahma quality of being connected to all of creation through that Om vibration. And now we'll flow like Saraswati. Start to straighten the front leg and exhale, drawing the belly in, reach long through the fingers and sweep the arms back behind you, like Saraswati diving to earth in the form of the river. Bend the front knee again and inhale, engage your pelvic floor muscles, strengthen the back as you rise all the way up. And exhale, straightening the front leg, dive back down. Fingertips back behind you. Inhale, bend the front leg, rise all the way up. 1 more time, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bow all the way down, belly drawing in, reaching the fingers back. And then bending the front knee. Inhale, strong spine as you rise right back up. Now with our exhale, we'll fold forward once again, this time keeping the knee bent just to plant the hands to frame the foot, and then stepping back into a plank. Now your inhale can shift you forward, hug the elbows towards your sides, and exhale, lower down chaturanga or knees and chest. And inhale, flip to the tops of the feet, lift the heart for upward dog or cobra. And exhale, lifting the tailbone to the sky for downward facing dog. And we'll inhale to step or float to the front of the mat once again to your halfway lift. Exhale, bow forward and surrender. Then inhaling, lengthening the spine once again, reverse swan dive to come all the way back up. And you can bring your hands down through heart center with your exhale. Find your Tadasana once again. Notice your breath, long and smooth and steady. And we'll do the same on the other side. Inhale to raise the arms. Exhale, drawing the belly in, swan diving down, leading with the chest, long spine. Inhale, lengthening halfway. And this time with the exhale, stepping the left leg straight back, just enough that the front knee can stay stacked over the ankle and you can ground through the back heel. Then inhale, engage pelvic floor, sweep the arms all the way up. Keep pressing back through that back heel, lifting the heart. Find that bit of a back bending quality here, but really feel your feet grounded into the earth. Our connection to nature here. And then that Saraswati flow, straight in the front leg. Exhale, draw the belly in and dive down. Send the arms back behind you. Imagine the river falling from heaven to earth. And then bending the front knee, inhale, rise all the way back up. See if you can maintain pressure in that back heel through the whole flow. Exhaling to bow forward. And inhaling to rise back up. One last time, straightening the front leg. Exhale, dive forward. And then inhaling, bending the knee, engaging pelvic floor, rising back up. This time, keeping the front knee bent, we'll exhale to fold forward, plant the hands down, and step back to plank. Inhale, see if you can point your toes, open your heart, elbows close to sides. Exhale, knees and chest, or chaturanga. And inhale to upward dog or cobra. Then exhale back to your downward facing dog. Now with our inhale, we'll step or float to the front of the mat, halfway lifting when you arrive there. And exhale, bow forward, forward fold. Let yourself rest here. You can even reach for opposite elbows once again and just sway. And then releasing the fingers down to the ground. Take your inhale to roll yourself back up, one vertebra at a time. Shoulders and head coming last. You can stand with the palms facing forward. Feeling yourself grounded down through your feet, gripping the toes back towards you. Solidifying those roots into the earth. And while perhaps there's heat and movement coursing through your body, we'll come into our tree pose, reminding us of our connection to all of nature. Even as we breathe in, we're breathing in the oxygen that the trees breathe out, and they breathe in the carbon dioxide that we breathe out. Even through the air, we're so interconnected with all of creation. So go ahead and set your weight into your right leg, and when you're ready, exhale to bend the left knee, take hold of the shin. And then inhale to open that knee out to the side. You can reach down for the ankle to place the foot on the thigh or the calf, or maybe just down to the floor today, wherever feels right for you. And then bring your hands into prayer at heart center. You can really feel like your thigh is pressing into the foot, just as much as the foot is pressing into the thigh. Lifting through the crown of the head, shoulders rolled back, firmly rooted into this creation of Brahma and Saraswati. And when you're feeling pretty steady, you can inhale to grow your branches up to the sky. Taking any position for the arms that feels strong and powerful for you today. There's no right or wrong here. Use your creative intuition to find the right posture for you. And then with your next inhale, let's raise the arms back up overhead, palms together. And exhale the hands down through heart center. Lower the leg down. You can bring your arms to your sides, and if you'd like, you can roll out the ankle or the knee. Whatever feels like it needs some movement here, you can move. Then take your weight into the left leg, gentle bend in the knee so you don't lock the knee. Exhale to bend the right knee, just holding onto the shin. And then inhaling to open the hip and place that foot either along the thigh or the calf or down to the floor. And when you find your balance, bring the hands into prayer. Keep drawing up through your pelvic floor muscles. You're drawing the positive energy from the earth up through the sole of your foot to rise all the way up to the crown chakra. And when you feel your connection to the divine, to that which is beyond you, take an inhale to raise the branches of your tree. Again, forming any shape that you'd like to, any mudra with your hands. And then with your next inhale, bringing the palms together overhead, exhale the hands back down through heart center. Lower the leg back down, and you can roll out the foot, the ankle, the knees, whatever your body needs. And come back to your Tadasana. Find your smooth breaths. And while there's still some warmth in the body, we'll start working into the hips, really opening the root chakra area, the sacral chakra area of Brahma and Saraswati. Take your inhale to raise your arms overhead, palms together. Let's exhale the hands down through heart center and drawing the belly in, hinge at the hips to fold forward. Release the arms down to the ground and take your inhale to lengthen the spine halfway. Then with your exhale, planting the hands down, step into your plank. Inhale to lower the knees and just exhale to round back to a child's pose. You can take the knees out wide here. Just starting to invite some openness in the hips before we come into our pigeon pose, what's called sleeping swan in yin, representing Saraswati's swans, that water element of creativity within her. So when you're ready, take your inhale to rise back up to all fours. Draw the knees back into hip distance. Curl the toes under behind, and we'll exhale to lift the hips up to the sky in downward facing dog. Now inhale, raise the right leg to come into three-legged downward dog. Try to keep the hips square if you can here. And then exhale, bending the knee. Come forward and plant the knee just behind the right wrist. Lower your weight down first, and then take your inhale to open the hip, walking the foot closer towards the left wrist. If you come into it this way, you should be able to keep your hips level so you aren't leaning off to one side or the other. And then roll the shoulders back to open the heart before we exhale and bow forward down to the ground. Let's roll through the spine like that, just on your fingertips. Inhale to lift the heart once again. And exhale, bow down. You can let the elbows come out to your sides here. Inhaling to lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. And exhale to bow down. So one more time, inhaling, rolling up, this beautiful rolling movement like the waters of Saraswati. And your exhale bows you all the way down into that pose. You can walk the arms out in front if that's accessible for you, or you can stay on the forearms. You could even be resting on a bolster or a block here. Try to keep an internal rotation of that back thigh, so it's like your big toes pointing inward, and your hips remain nice and level. And we'll just find a few deep breaths here. You'll notice that the longer and smoother your exhale is, the deeper you can get into this stretch. You'll feel more space opening up in your hips. It stimulates the body's resting response, those long, slow exhales, like a sigh of relief. And now, because a lot of images of Saraswati often remind me of mermaids, her sitting on a lotus flower on the water, we'll try our mermaid variation of this pose. So your next inhale, you can walk the hands back up towards you to lift the heart. Try to come up onto the fingertips and see if you can really lift your sternum to the sky. Our back bends, we want to have this sense of pulling up and then back. And then perhaps you're just exhaling to bend the back knee, to draw the heel closer towards you. Maybe that's enough for you today, or maybe if you're feeling pretty bendy, if you can keep your chest forward, inhale to raise that same side arm, left side arm, reach back for the foot, and just see if you can draw the heel closer towards your bottom. Try to keep the chest and the hips aiming forward if you can. And if you're feeling pretty comfortable here, maybe you can even tuck the foot into the crease of the elbow, and inhale to raise the right fingers and draw them back to touch the back fingers. See if you can take 2 deep breaths here. And then gently with an exhale, you can lower the right arm down, lower the back leg down, square the chest once again, and then curling onto those back toes, inhale to lift the hips away from the ground, and exhale to slide back to your downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal it out, walk the dog here to find evenness in the hips. And then we'll find the other side of this pose. So with your inhale, raise the left leg to the sky, hips nice and square. And then exhale, draw the knee just behind the left wrist first. Lower your weight down and inhale to walk the hip open, walking the foot closer towards the right wrist. Of course, you can use your hand to assist there, but make sure you're keeping your hips nice and level so you don't twist the knee. Again, lifting the heart first before exhaling to bow down. And let's just flow through the spine a couple times here. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Just warming up the spine for this pose, finding that creative flow. Remembering your intention of Saraswati. And then with your exhale, bowing all the way down wherever that position is for you. Maybe it's on your forearms, maybe on your forehead. And just allowing yourself to rest. Long, slow exhales. And then again, with your inhale, you can walk the hands back towards you, lifting your heart, rising up onto the fingertips first, seeing how high you can lift the sternum so you really lengthen upwards through the spine, up and back. And then again, if you're feeling pretty bendy today, you can take your exhale to bend the right knee, trying to draw the heel in towards you. And if you want to add a little bit of depth to that stretch, you can inhale to raise the right arm, reach back for that foot, and just draw the heel in closer to you. And again, if you can keep the chest and the hips squared here while tucking the foot into the crease of the elbow, go ahead and try that. And if that feels all right for you and you feel pretty open through your chest, you can raise the left arm up and reach it back to meet the right fingers. Trying to open the heart to the front. Take 2 deep breaths. And then slowly with your exhale, releasing the fingers, lowering the leg down behind you, squaring the chest forward, and then you can curl the back toes under. Inhale to lift the knee and the hips, and exhale to slide back to your downward facing dog. Pedal it out, finding evenness through both sides of the spine. And then we'll inhale to roll forward into a plank pose. Lower the knees down and exhale, round back into your child's pose. This time keeping the knees close towards each other, the thighs touching, so you can really allow the spine to round the opposite direction of that back bend as a counter pose. Go ahead and bring the arms around behind you if you'd like to give your shoulders a bit of a rest here. And take 3 deep breaths. And with your inhale, let's rise all the way up to kneeling in what's called Vajrasana pose, lightning bolt pose. Then you can take the legs around in front of you, have the feet planted down on the ground. We'll do one more powerful activation of our sacral chakra with Navasana boat pose. So keeping the feet on the ground, take an inhale to raise the arms up to chest height, and then draw the shoulder blades back together so you puff your chest up. And then exhaling, draw the navel in towards the spine so you're really firm through the core here. And just start to lower yourself down to about a 45-degree angle. You're already really working the core and the hip flexors just to hold yourself up here, so maybe this is enough for you. But if you're feeling pretty strong today, maybe your inhale lifts the feet up off of the ground. Maybe this is enough for you, or you could even reach behind the knees. And if you're feeling pretty good, try straightening the legs, lifting the heart a little more, lengthening through the crown of the head. Strong activation of that sacral chakra within us. Finding what's called sthira and sukha within this pose. Sthira sukham asanam, which means stillness and comfort even within the challenge. One more inhale, lifting the heart. And then exhaling, you can bend the knees, plant the feet, and roll the rest of the way down, all the way down onto your back. You can walk the heels in closer towards you here so that your ankles come just underneath the knees. Invite the shoulder blades in together so you lift the heart a little more towards the sky, but keep the chin tucked in towards the chest. Now exhale to press your lower back down into the ground. Feel that powerful sensation within your sacral chakra, Svadhisthana chakra, or creativity center. And then with your inhale, pull in your pelvic floor muscles, press into the heels, and lift the hips up off the ground while keeping the thighs in towards hip distance. You'll exhale to lower back down, top of the spine all the way down to the bottom. One vertebra at a time. We're inhaling, engage pelvic floor, press into the heels, lift the hips all the way until you lift the chest up towards the chin. And then exhale, lower down, one vertebra at a time. Feel the interconnection of all the portions of the spine here. Brahma reminds us of our connectedness with all things, and our spine is no different. This flowing movement through the spine reminds us of how connected our body is, each part connected to the other through systems of fascia in the body. One more time. And then exhaling to lower all the way back down. This time hugging the knees in towards the chest, drawing them towards you. And one last flowing movement like the Saraswati river. We'll inhale to bring the arms out to shoulder height like a T on the ground. And then exhale, pulling the belly in, lower the knees to the inside of the left elbow. See if you can keep your right shoulder grounded and you can gaze out over the right fingers. Then your inhale draws the knees back up to center. And your exhale takes them over to the inside of the right elbow this time. Flow through this movement like a wave, inhaling up and exhaling down. Remind yourself of that intention for your creativity, for your inner connection with all things, and just let yourself flow. One more time to each side. And then inhaling the knees back up to center. Let's exhale to hug the knees in towards the chest. And we'll find some evenness through both sides of the spine with a happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana. You can reach for the outer edges of the feet or the ankles. Try to draw the knees in towards your underarms. Maybe roll from side to side here. Giving a massage to the lower back. And then hugging the knees back in towards you. Slowly lower one leg at a time down to the outer edges of your mat. As you lay on the earth, notice the points of contact that the back of your body has with the ground. See if you can almost feel like the boundaries of your body are blurring, so you can feel your energetic connection with the air above you and the earth below you. And with every inhale, draw in that positive, loving energy from the earth, prana within us and all around us. Allow it to fill you with every breath. And with every exhale, send that pranic energy anywhere in the body that needs it, that needs to soften, that needs to find gentleness. This video will end soon, but you're welcome to stay in the Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Just bring yourself out of it whenever you're ready, after however much time has passed for you to feel completely rested. And then you can move on to the pranayama and meditation after that. So after our beautiful Shavasana, we'll find a pranayama technique, a breathing exercise inspired by Brahma and Saraswati. This pranayama technique is a simple Brahmari breath, which is our humming bee breath. It allows us to connect with that vibrational energy of the creation of the universe. We all come from vibration, from energy. And that Om sound is said to actually be the sound of the Big Bang, the sound of the universe. So we'll find a humming variation of this, and we'll first practice pratyahara, which means withdrawal of the senses. So to practice that, you can take your first two fingers and just bring them over the eyes to create some darkness. And then your thumbs can tuck into that flap of the ears so that you'll then close off your sense of hearing as well. And the elbows can be relaxed, the shoulders can be relaxed. Don't close your hearing yet, or you won't be able to hear my instructions. But all we're going to do is breathe in through the nose and then exhale with a closed mouth, humming any tone that feels right for you. And we'll do this about 10 times. So whenever you're ready, take an inhale to prepare and then close your ears and hum. When you've finished, you can return your hands to your knees or your lap. And sit a moment with those residual vibrations. See how that vibrating energy helps to blur the lines of our boundaries with the rest of the world. All major religions have some form of this treat others as you would like to be treated golden rule. But Samkhya philosophy, which is the foundation of Hinduism, Buddhism, yoga, Ayurveda, it says rather, there are no others. We are all one, and we all come from this cosmic source of vibration. Let your heart expand into that space. And then slowly you can open your eyes. We'll finish this class with what's called Saraswati's mudra, the Veena mudra. So you can take your left hand out to your side. You can mirror me here with the palm facing up towards the sky. And take your right hand in Gyan mudra, pointer finger and thumb touching just in front of your sacral chakra. This represents Saraswati's instrument, her Veena that she plays. And it allows us to get in touch with those creative powers within us, the power of Saraswati's wisdom and knowledge. So remind yourself of any intention that you would like to call upon Saraswati or Brahma's energy to help you find in your life. And we'll chant to Saraswati. Her mantra is Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. That's Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. So when you're ready, just close your eyes, lengthen through the crown, and we'll chant it together 3 times. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. And you can bring your hands into Anjali Mudra in prayer in front of your heart. Open the petals of this lotus flower to create Padma Mudra or Lotus Mudra, and visualize that sacred energy between the palms of your hands. The energy of creation that connects all beings. Let's close our class with one deep Om together. Inhale to prepare. Thank you all so much for participating in this class of Brahma and Saraswati today. Namaste.